Pin comment. There we go. Yay. Okay. Sorry, glasses. Take glasses. It's so hard with bifocals because it's like all of the text happens right at the bifocal line. So anyway, hello you guys. It's nice to see you. So fun. So fun. Oh my gosh. Today was one of those days where you're just like, could anything go right? Too much blush. Oh well. Actually, maybe it'll look good by the time it's all done. Let's see. I realized that the iPad had 20% battery and just might not make it all the way through. So I'm running around trying to find plugs and going, really? We have 16 iPhone, iPad, all the thing plugs, and I can barely find one? Okay, and then breathe, Hannah, breathe. And it's like, okay, do I have the setup? Do I have the copies and pastes? And so everybody knows what the heck I'm talking about. Hi, Jules. Oh, hi, Maria. This is so fun to see you guys. Anyway, so it was a wild and crazy morning. Talk about getting, I think adrenaline is just a little bit better than coffee. Maybe, no, can't do that every morning. I might explode or something. Okay, questions are already coming in. Yay! Please tell us how we can care for our nails. Excellent question. There's a whole boatload of stuff. And actually, if, you know, taking care of your nails is one of those things that it's kind of like taking care of horses. If you were actually to write a big long list of all the things you have to do, you'd be like, oh, forget it. I'm not doing it. But when you do it in bits and pieces, as we learn, then it's like, this is no big deal. This day I do this thing. This day I do another thing. So how to care for your nails. The number one most important thing is two things. Do not put them in water as much as possible. Water is the worst, most damaging chemical to our nails. And then the other thing is that since we have to wash our hands and take showers, we do strip the oils and additional moisture from our skin and our nail plate. So the best way to fix that is to then reapply a moisturizing isn't the right word. It's more like hydrating. There isn't actually, well, there is. Doug Schoon, author of Nail Structure and Product Chemistry, says what oils do is certain oils penetrate down into the nail plate and they plasticize it. So what that means is doesn't turn your nails to plastic, but what it does is it makes it flexible. It makes it so that when you whack your nails into something hard, they're going to bend and they're not going to break. So that's why it's really, really important to use a high quality jojoba based wax or jojoba wax ester based nail oil. And let me show you if I can find it. Under the microscope, jojoba looks almost, can you guys see this? Almost identical. So we've got, let me just double check and make sure I've got them right. So this one's jojoba. Yeah, one of them's jojoba, one of them's body wax or body oil, and then I think this one is sperm whale oil. And then what I really want to show you guys is, okay, so if this is this is jojoba body oil, and this is olive oil. So can you see how it has 3 branched chains here versus one nice straight chain? So which do you think of jojoba looks like more like this, and olive oil looks more like this? Which one's going to penetrate through the cells in your nails better, faster? So that's why jojoba is so important. Does that mean that olive oil will not penetrate your nails? No, it definitely does, but a whole lot slower. So that's kind of how I came about with our oil, was I chose certain ingredients based on what they do and actually how they can help plasticize the nail plate. And there's certain other oils that do not penetrate at all, like mineral oil. I am shocked at how many cuticle oils still have mineral oil in them. It's like, no, you can't. You can put all the most fantastic ingredients in it, and as soon as you put in mineral oil, you just totally destroyed it. It will not penetrate. So that's the That's the two main things you need to do. And then the third thing, which everybody who's a nail polish addict loves, is that you need to wear nail polish. And what nail polish does is create this protective barrier all the way around. So wrap your base coat and your top coat all the way around tips if you have them. And what that does is it makes it very difficult for water to absorb into your nail plate. And that's what causes peeling. And so let me show you a picture. Peeling is also called delamination. And so many of us have had this, but this is because water gets in on these, it gets into these layers and it shoves them apart. And so I use an example of a book. So we have a nice, lovely, brand new book. Well, maybe it was read by somebody, but so all the pages lay nicely together. And then what happens when you get that book wet? So now all of your pages go like that. No matter what you try to do, how you try and dry it, no matter what technique, those pages are just not going to lay flat. And so what happens is then water gets in there more and it pushes those layers apart. So our nails have the capability to correct themselves if we washed our hands like twice a day. Well, and in today's world, that's just not an option. So we get to go the other direction. We put more oil in our nails to plasticize them, and then also to use polish to help protect our nails from the extra water absorption. Okay, got that? And if you have any questions, need more information, need to revisit this again, go to nailcarehq.com, and that is where I have, as of, we're now in September. My gosh. As of the beginning of September 2017, I've got about pushing 90 articles. So been writing for quite a while. I feel very, very honored to be supported and endorsed by Doug Schoon. He has written back in, gosh, 1995, I think, was his last edition of Nail Structure and Product Chemistry. And what's really cool is that I follow him. I'm part of his new video tutorial membership, which anybody can join. And so I keep up on that new knowledge that he is discovering and all kinds of things. Like when he wrote in his book, he said that the average nail plate has about 100 layers. And so then I was writing an article probably about 6 months ago, and I sent that off to him for just clarification, and he goes, I don't know where you got the 100 layers thing. And so I sent him the copy of it from his book, and he's like, wow, things have definitely changed a lot. And actually the new knowledge coming through over the last few years was, no, we have about 50 layers. And so then when you look at the fact, it's like, okay, I have 50 layers, and then I am going to buff the ridges off. Okay, now you've taken a series of layers that are actually thicker, and so now you've buffed them down to the thinnest part of your nail plate. And then if we go to the salon and they file down a few more layers, or if you wear gel a lot and you have somebody who's just a little bit too aggressive, we'll take down, I don't know, 3-4 layers. You do this again and again and again with every nail fill, and then pretty soon you wonder why your nails are so thin. We've done it to ourselves. So it's really, really important that we never, ever, ever buff our nails. If you do go to the salon, what they should do, and this is the new technology that's been created, everything has improved over the last decade to where your nail professional should only basically just with a very, very fine grit file, just barely take that shine off of your nail plate so that the product can actually bond to it. Because the products don't bond to shiny nails. So they need a little bit, they got to make it sort of a matte surface. So that's just dealing with 1 or 2 layers just to make that so that the product will bond well. But if anybody takes an electronic file to your nails, your bare nails, get up and walk out, because it's not worth it. We help so many people, and it takes 4 to 6 months for your nails to completely replace themselves from here to the time it reaches your fingernail tips, depending on how slow they grow. The average person is about 4 months. So as soon as you take acrylics off and they've been damaged by a poorly trained nail tech, then you've got to wait 4 months with really, really thin nails that peel and break and crack and all of that, and you've just got to wait it out. So, yeah, take control. It's a good thing to still enjoy the nail salon. It's a great way to pamper ourselves, but we also have to be very, very careful at who is actually touching our nails and our skin. This skin, don't ever let them cut it. That proximal fold right there that everybody thinks is the cuticle is very, very important. We need to keep it. And to keep it from getting dried out and feeling like you need to cut it is to use oil to moisturize that. And unfortunately, since we wash our hands so much, oiling many times per day. I'm usually, when I'm being good, somewhere between 4 and 6 times per day. But it's you use so little. I can sit there and let me see if I can find one, because my stuff keeps walking away from my nail table. So when you're using the oil, you literally just a few clicks, and then if I'm in a hurry, I just rub it this way. And then, so I do all of that sitting at the red light in my car, and then I just rub each of those. And if I've got too much, you want to rub it into your hands. You don't want to leave a greasy trail. You still want to be able to grip your steering wheel if you're driving, or your bike, or anything. I don't want you to feel like you're leaving a slime trail behind you. It's not necessary. It's better to use a whole lot less oil more frequently than a lot of oil less frequently, because it will just all wipe off on your clothes, and your keyboard, on everything. So preserve that product. Isn't it weird to hear somebody say, don't use so much product? Because everything that I do when I teach, it's in your best interest. That's why a lot of people wonder why don't we carry a glass polish bottle full of oil? Because it's not in your best interest. People think it is, but you end up applying way, 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 way too much, and then because it's awkward you can't keep it in your purse or backpack, you have to have it sitting on a table, and it goes back to you apply way too much, and then it's very easy for it to tip over and spill. Okay, we're 15 minutes in. I need your guys' help, and I know you guys have been asking me questions. So we are working on, as many of you know, we've got our nail files, our crystal nail files that we get from Mont Bleu, and sorry it's upside down and backwards, and these are the best nail files on the planet, in my opinion, with all my testing. They're made in the Czech Republic, and they're tempered glass compared to the ones in China are not. And so China, the ones from China, they practically break when you look at them. So anyway, beautiful, beautiful finish that is guaranteed for life. So if you were actually to wear off, I've only known one person, shockingly it's my best friend, only one person who's worn off that surface. And so Mont Bleu will replace them. We also will replace them. We want everybody to be happy. But here's the question. So they come, of course they're glass. We wrap them in bubble wrap to try and prevent the damage and torture that the U.S. postal system is going to do to your order. And so we wrap them, but sometimes they still break, and they still will break in your purse. So I've wanted to carry a case, to offer a case for the file, but the only ones that have been available to me before were metal. And so when you put a file in a metal case, with the jostling that happens in backpacks and purses and stuff, it breaks. So we get a lot of breakage that way. So metal was not an option. Then I thought about, I tried this type, and I actually really, really like it. But, because they sent me this as a sample, the problem, so we did actually care, we ordered some for a little while. The problem was that this little top, what it would do in shipping is like it would slightly pull apart and then the file would snap. And so we ended up doing a lot of replacing of these, shockingly. So I was like, okay, I'm constantly looking for solutions to make everything better. So we got these amazing, they're so beautiful cases, okay? The only thing is, and this paint that they use is absolutely amazing. Preston has dropped it like 50 times trying to test it, because that's what we do for you guys. We like throw stuff, we're testing it all different ways of how is it going to go through your life and having these products work the best. So the only thing that kind of concerns me is that when you open it, hopefully you guys can see this. Can you see if I roll it? There is, because it's plastic, so there is this plastic seam with this piece that gets just pushed in, snapped in there. But, so you look at this and you go, oh my God, this is beautiful. It looks like it's metal, which it does. This metallic, gorgeous finish. Almost matches my top. Anyway, so this was the one thing I was like, oh, is this up to the quality that is Bliss Kiss? So tell me, does it matter? Does it matter to you? Or is it more important to have a case that is going to protect this precious little gem over here, that will save? This is one of those things that I have to have, and anybody who bites their nails has to be able to finish, have to give their nails that smooth finish. Anybody who gets really tough calluses on the edges here, you can, like you use a pumice stone on your heels, you can use this file. This file is safe enough to use on your skin just to sort of sand down that hard part of the callus, but because you need the callus. And then what you can do is then moisturize that with your oil, and then that callus gets softer. It's still very important because, man, I am like all over the place. If you actually push your fingers together like this, watch what happens to the edge. So you're looking at the edges right here. Watch what happens. What happens to that skin as you're pushing? You're jamming the skin up into a mildly sharp edge. So the body goes, maybe we should put some more skin there. Maybe we should protect that skin so it doesn't get ripped apart and start bleeding everywhere. So, but the problem is too that we contend some people clip that skin and then you end up clipping into live skin, and the body's response is, oh, we're getting more damage. Let's build more layers. Let's make that callus even bigger. So this is why it's very important to keep those calluses, but learn to manage them so that they don't annoy the stuff out of us and we end up going like this. Okay, let's go back and find some people who have answered about this file. Okay, I want to see if I can figure out where tape the tops together when shipping. We tried that. Oh, with this one? We tried doing that. We tried taping it, and surprisingly, the tape still came apart in shipping. These things, you guys would not believe all of the stuff that we've had to deal with USPS. Sometimes I want to strangle them. Okay, so I'm getting some answers of, somebody, Clara says, I just want to say thank you. You've literally saved my nails. You're welcome. Lori says it doesn't matter. The cases are great. No, it does not. Natasha says I would buy it in a heartbeat. Good. Laura says a mini file. Yes, we've got a mini and a regular one. So we've got both sizes. So basically the files fit in here. So we're working. If you guys like these cases, it's going to be a really easy decision for me. Illuminous says I have one in a case like that. The drama doesn't bother me. I'd rather have that than a broken file, so thank you. CXR and a bunch of other letters. Beautiful metallic case. That little seam on the inside wouldn't bother me since it's closed most of the time. Awesome. What's the difference between the two nail files? Size. This one, the smaller one, for me is great for in my purse because the longer one, here let me put the two together. The longer one is just bigger, and I tend to try and, since everybody wants to put stuff in my my purse, my best friend was like, when I got a really nice purse, she goes, repeat after me. I am not your pocket. And I'm like, what? She goes, yes, say it 5 times. I am not your pocket. I am not your pocket. And sure enough, people start to try, my family, every single one of them, they want to put stuff in my purse. And I'm like, no, I am not your pocket. So it's funny. Anyway, but I still have a lot of stuff in my purse. So I don't want the big one. But at my nail table, I definitely like the big one because then you have a bigger working space and it's just nicer. But otherwise, other than that, they are exactly the same. Somebody says autocorrect is horrible. The seam doesn't bother me. I know I texted actually Siri's not the greatest either, and I dictate all the time. And I sent a text to Kirsten, my best friend, this morning, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to be doing a live at 11. And it said, I'm going to be doing, what was it? I'm going to be starting a live. And it said, I'm going to be starting a wife. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's not happening. I love my husband. But it is funny. Another, it wouldn't bother me. Beautiful case. Is the little insert clear? No, they are actually, so this little portion of what I'm talking about, it kind of bothers me because it feels, it just says plastic. It doesn't say metal, even though the impression, it looks like metal. This is beautiful. I love this paint. I gasped when I first saw it. So it's just this little silver piece that, based on the way they make the mold, it has a seam on both sides, and so I'm like, I just really. And so this is what I do whenever I'm confused or can't quite make a decision, as I come to you guys, and I get your opinion. It's like, am I really sort of taking this too far and getting all worked up about nothing? And a lot of times you guys tell me, yep, you're getting worked up about nothing. It wouldn't bother me at all, and I'd love it. So, and that's, to me, this is about. This company is finding life-changing, or creating and finding life-changing products with an exceptional customer experience. So that's why this process, this little project right here with you guys, is so important to me. And I do this on Instagram too, where I'll ask you guys questions, because it's just like, you know what? I am one little person, and I've got a great team, and they give me their advice too. And then there's just sometimes where we all sit there at the table and go, I'm not sure. So you guys always give me great clarity. So that little insert is a silver color. Laura, could you wrap them in bubble wrap? Yes. I know you came late, but yes, we do wrap all of our files in bubble wrap, and surprisingly, they'll still show up, some of them, only a few, but they'll still show up broken. What about a leather envelope case with a metal clasp? Ooh, that's cool. Surprisingly, it's still going to break. Yeah. The leather, I know already that the leather won't be enough. And then when I try and look at things too, is how much can we do when I'm driving in a car? So that little leather clasp would actually be something that would potentially require 2 hands. So I want, if I'm sitting at a stoplight and I need to file this edge that I'm about to chew off or something, I want to be able to do this with 1 hand. And so you can take this cap off with 1 hand and drop it in the passenger seat and collect everything later. So these are the kind of things that I think about. Love the case. Awesome. What's my favorite nail oil scent? Whichever one I'm wearing, kinda, sorta. It's usually like the seasonals. I like them during the season. I've had autumn for some reason sitting on my nail table, and I've been using it through spring and summer, and it's just like, I love this fragrance, but it feels like the wrong time. So I've really tried to curate these fragrances that will transport you somewhere. And so with autumn, I want you to feel all of the feel and smell all of the wonderful flavors and smells that we experience in autumn. And of course that has to do a lot to do with apples and pumpkins and spices, but I didn't want autumn to smell like pumpkin pie. So it smells more like apple pie drizzling with melted vanilla ice cream. And winter, I wanted you to feel like you had just walked into a room with a brand new freshly cut Christmas tree, and that there is citrus mulled cider simmering on the stove. So that, and then of course summer, pina coladas, hello. and you know, there's a lot of sunscreens that smell like coconut, so it kind of it ties in with that too. Okay, so let me grab some questions over on Facebook. Let's see. Wow, we've got 15 people on Facebook. Good turnout today. Okay. Excited to hear about what you have in mind. From Dallas. Thanks for all the tips. Oil saved my nails. You guys, that's so awesome. Amanda says, I have a case just like that one and love it. Good, good. Protection is more important. These new cases you showed are perfect, and the case looks fine with the seam in there. Protection of the file is more important. You guys are so helpful. Let's see. I used the case that came with my reading glasses after the glasses broke. Brilliant. Yeah, we're working on some other stuff too. So excited. Protecting the file is more important. Okay. Love, Bliss, Kiss. Somebody says I use the cases already. I'm going to have to read. That's a longer one. So Gail says, I use these cases already. Sometimes the large one opens. The little one seems to stay together better. I don't know why. That's probably just the mold of how the plastic is made and that. And part of me is wondering if that... No, actually, so if you can see it, there's a little bump right here. So it's not the seam that's helping. It's this little bump that makes it so that the top has something to grip to. So, be nice. What is the shelf life of the oil? Okay, so that's, I think I've got all the Facebook questions. What's the shelf life of our oil? It is 9 months, 9 to 12 months. And the reason for that is grapeseed is the most volatile oil. It's the one that expires the quickest and will go rancid. Now, an oil going rancid doesn't mean it's bad, which sounds kind of weird. It's still usable. We just don't like the smell of it, myself included. So grapeseed has the 9-month shelf life. Olive oil has a 2-year shelf life, and jojoba wax ester, since it is not an oil, technically, it has an unlimited shelf life. How cool is that? So unfortunately, having the jojoba in there doesn't compensate for the short shelf life of grapeseed. So if you want to extend your oil, especially if you've ordered the dropper bottle, or especially if you've ordered the 4 ounce, keep that in the refrigerator, and that will last a long time. So again, with that, we have to say on the label that it only lasts a year, but we've had people with the 4 ounce in their refrigerator for 4 years, and this one gal, she said it smells fine, behaves the same. So oh, Cheryl, are you making a travel kit? Shh, shh. Yes, We are. We are working on launching that for Black Friday if all things go well. You know, a lot of the products that we don't manufacture, we make everything that we manufacture in our warehouse in Olympia, Washington, United States. Forget to add that because we are global. But a lot of the other things, they're manufactured in China. A lot of times I try and find local USA distributor or manufacturers, and they're just not here, and which is sad, actually. But we've got several really good manufacturers in China for one of our products, and China was offered. That actually is the Simply Grab. The China version is horrible. I was actually really sad and seriously unimpressed when I got that sample. It's kind of a brassy color because when you pushed on it. So what I'm talking about is our Simply Grab. We lovingly call it the claw because that's what it is. We put that where you can see it. So there's these 4 very, very tough tines that grab your cotton ball. I don't have cotton here either. Anyway, so the Chinese version this part was really stiff to push, and the claws were kind of wimpy, the wire that was used, and it just felt cheap. And you know that at Bliss Kiss we try to do everything first class, above and beyond. And so I ended up going to Pakistan. I didn't go. I wish I could have gone. That would have been fun. But I ended up choosing a company from Pakistan because they did this beautiful job, and I don't know how they get our logo in there, but it's really quite pretty. And so this feels like a medical grade tool, which it actually is because they make a lot of medical supplies. So this is the first product that we actually offer a lifetime guarantee. If it breaks or anything, you email us and we'll replace it. Okay, so I think I got sidetracked. It was talking about the travel kit. And so yes, we are working to create to find a case that is just the right size for all of the things that we want to put in it, which will be infant nail clippers. So we're working with another manufacturer for that. Our small nail file, a pen, and also our lotion stick mini. So it's all this little contained thing. And Kathy went and bought, like somebody said, an eyeglasses case. And so she was like, well, I'll go try one of these. She found it on her way down to California for vacation. And she kept that and all of the stuff in there, and the file didn't break, and she was thrilled. Her sister saw it and was like, what is that? And then she was, I have to have one. I want one. So this is going to be really great because I've talked about having this emergency kit in my purse, kind of, which is all of those things. And I can't live without the infant nail clippers because I pick at my skin, especially right there. I'll grab some of that skin and I'll work at it. Thank you, anxiety. And so I'll make it bleed and get infected. So infant nail clippers are the solution for that. Also, if I get a chip here, I have to file it right away, or else I probably would pick at that too. But that's been my strategy. Oh, hello, Olga. Everybody say hi to Olga. She is one of our first 10 Blissettes. You can actually find Olga's story on nailcarehq.com. Her nails went from, were they like practically nubbins, or I don't remember, this length, and they went really long and beautiful, and she was able to do amazing nail art, but now she's got a new baby. I remember those days. So she says she has 2 4-ounce bottles in the fridge going on 2 years now, and they do last longer in the fridge and smell the same. That's what we like. And the reason that works is because, just like, okay, you put food in your refrigerator, and normally if you left it on the counter it's going to spoil pretty quickly, but we can put it in the refrigerator, have it last for days before it starts to spoil. So it is that same thing. And if grapeseed oil is the volatile 9-month shelf life, then if we keep it in the fridge, it can last for, we don't know how long. I've only been in business for 5 years, so Olga, a whole bunch of people over on Instagram are saying hello. I would love to purchase that. I'm not sure if you're talking about the nail file, or the nail file case. That's not available yet. You guys are telling me yet. Few of the starter, you want to purchase a few of the starter, some things. Go to myblisskiss.com. That's where you can find all of our products. To find all of my articles that I've written about nail care and breaking the nail care myths, and there's a boatload of them out there. Those you can find at my website at nailcarehq.com. And anything that you have a question about, just Google whatever keyword. So let's say you're looking for yellow nails or peeling nails. Just take those keywords and put them in, and also the keyword of nailcarehq.com, and it will deliver you the articles that I've written. So, okay. Oh, Olga says, Misty Rise. Yeah. I miss chatting with you, Olga. It's been forever. Okay. Back to questions. Okay. Will the oil work the same if you have it in the freezer, even though it doesn't smell the same? Yes, absolutely. So what we're learning, one of our team members was testing this of does the fragrance oil. So what happens is when we freeze it, the fragrance oil, the chemical structure of that changes a little bit, and so when you defrost it, then the fragrance oil, for some reason, kind of dissipates. So it'll get to the point where you just don't smell the fragrance anymore. But yeah, still work just fine. It's the same as if you were to freeze olive oil. It's going to last a long, long time. Let's see. Question about Simply Peel. Mine is gloppy and has been since I bought it. I replaced the brush, but the new one's kind of gloopy too. Yeah. Email us if our Simply Peel latex barrier, all latex barriers actually should have a shelf life of about 6 months, and that's what our manufacturer tells us. That it doesn't last forever because it hardens with air, and so air just gets into bottles and things and eventually dries it up. But if it's been that way since you bought it, it could heat and cold affect. And cold is weird, but they affect Simply Peel, and so it can arrive to you in a different state than the way we shipped it, because we manufacture those. So actually our manufacturer of Simply Peel is the latex, so that comes to us from the manufacturer we've chosen, and then we add the glitter. But we're also making sure that the consistency and everything is right for you. So it's very possible that it got damaged in shipping, so just email us and make sure that you guys include your order number when you email us. That helps us help you a whole lot faster, because then we don't have to dialogue back with you going, well, what's your order number, what's your real name, these kind of things. Let's see. Would the nail case be available for the next sale? Are you going to sell it separately? I think we should sell it separately. Let me know what you guys think. Eventually, we want to have all the files come with the case, because that's just in your best interest. And so, but then we're thinking, we've sold a lot of files over the last few years, so I think we should sell them separately too, so that you guys can pick and choose whatever you need. So, how often can you do the overnight hydration treatment, and what do you think of using a nail brush? Is it too harsh? Oh, good questions. You could do the overnight hydration as often as you want. It depends on what you feel your nails need. Like, one of my best friends, her skin is really, really dry from a medication that she takes. And so her skin just needs that. And so she actually will wear her gloves and kind of do mini hydrations while she's cooking dinner. And then she'll do them at night also. She has sent pictures of her driving and she's got her gloves on, which I have done too. I've done like a 2-hour hydration while I'm driving to work and getting settled in and answering some email and stuff. And then the other question of using a nail brush. No, it's not too harsh. You can use either a nail brush for cleaning under your nails or even a soft bristled toothbrush. That might be better choice, so that you're not really pushing on the hyponychium back here. You're not pushing on this guardian seal and kind of pushing that back and making your nail bed shorter, which would only be temporary, because as your nail grows out, it will pull that back out. So it's actually not the brush that would be too harsh. It's actually the hand that's brushing could be too harsh if you're pushing too hard. But if you're being really gentle, it should be just fine. Let's see. Is autumn a sweet smell? I'm in love with your summer oil and lotion stick because of the sweetness. My next buy is autumn, but I wanted to know if it's sweet. Well, yeah. But it's not as sweet to me as pink sugar. Pink sugar is a little bit too sweet to me, but it's a huge, huge seller. So I love that we're able to do that for you guys. So it's the one fragrance that I'm not fond of, but autumn, oh, I love autumn. I didn't think I would, and my team just kept saying, you have to do this, you have to do an autumn fragrance, because it was like the one season we didn't have. And I love it. It smells like apple pie a la mode, so it's got dripping vanilla ice cream. So yes, so it definitely feels or smells sweet. It's not as sweet as pink sugar though. So, and the other thing is, you guys, if you want to know what our fragrances are like, and you've never order a fragrance-free pen or dropper bottle, and then order the little scent samples. So then you get like 8 drops of oil in them. They're not meant to be full. They're just meant for you to be able to dab a little bit on your skin, see how it interacts with your own body chemistry, because what something smells like on me is going to smell different on you. So as what mixes with your body oils and the temperature of your body. So try those. It's also really good to try them to testing for any allergies. Like some people are allergic to one fragrance, so they're allergic to something in the fragrance oil, but they're not allergic to something else. So that's really, really helpful. And those little vials actually get filled with a needle. like when I first started, and we probably still use them, is I went down to the local farm supply, because you need to be able to give lots of vaccinations and stuff to cattle. And so you can buy needles, and like huge needles, and syringes. And so I just did that, and that's how we fill those little vials. I think actually my team is now, we don't have the syringes. They've figured out attachments for using it with a squeeze bottle, but it still has that needle. So that's why we offer those. They're a little pain in the tuchus, but yeah, our team doesn't like them, but you guys love them, and so that's why we continue. Laura says, I got a free sample of autumn scent with my shipment. Yeah, so she got a free little mini sample, and it smells fantastic. Smells great, and it's not too strong. Natasha says, are you going to Polish Con? And I don't remember where it is, in Chicago or somewhere. No. And the reason is because, granted, a lot of people would know why they need our oil, but a lot of times when I've gone to shows and set up, people didn't understand why they needed oil for their nails, and so I spent a bunch of time educating them, and within about 30 to 60 minutes I lost my voice, because and it didn't end up making very many sales, and so it just ended up being for me, actually, a painful experience because of losing my voice. So, and it was how it was happening every time. And I'm just like, these aren't worth it. They're not worth it to me. I would rather spend my time writing another article for you guys to help break those myths, tell you the truth about nail care. So, no, I'm sorry. Let's see. I know that water is bad for your nails, but does the temperature matter? Nope, temperature doesn't matter. Well, let me take that back. Warm, hot water is worse because it, you know how when you're doing your dishes and if you don't use soap but you use hot water, it's going to start to dissolve the oil that's in your pan. And of course soap helps to get the rest of it. Wow, that's a really good example. I'm going to use that one more. That's what happens with our nails, is that the water and the soap, so especially warm water, is going to pull those oils out even faster. Just like it does when you take a super, super hot shower. Guilty. That it pulls the oils out of your, it like just strips all the natural body oils. And so then now we have this huge industry of moisturizing body gels and soaps, and it's like we're just shooting ourselves in the foot. Anyway, hot water strips those oils, and so then we've got to figure out how to put it all back. And I actually love our oil all over my body if I've done that and been guilty of using too hot of a shower and too much soap. And people are using our oil for skin issues, psoriasis, eczema, a whole bunch of other ones that I can't even pronounce. And we've started a support group over on Facebook. It is, the best way to get there is through our website, actually, because we've got the direct links. So for the healthy skin issues is myblisskiss.com/healthy skin. And then I use it, a whole bunch of people use it to help stop picking at skin and also stop nail biting. And so, and nail biting is, there's a whole bunch of stuff behind it and why we do it, and what are things that can help us do it less. So we've created a support group for there on Facebook also. And that is myblisskiss.com/healthy nails. I hope I got those right. I'm pretty sure I did. And so, yeah, it's really, really amazing for skin. My middle son, who's my third child, he has eczema pretty bad. And he gets it on his eyelids and his neck. And if he's good and keeps up on it, we discovered that using our oil on his eczema, within about 3 days, the symptoms, all the itchy and the red, that all goes away. So, but of course he's 14 now. He just had birthdays. And all three of them have birthdays during the summer, so it's challenging to remember how old they are. So I hope I answered that question. Anyway, long story. Hopefully got all the way back to it. A bunch of you guys, there were some questions at the very beginning. Sorry, let me find it. Water bad for your nails. I already talked about that. If you missed it, why is water bad for your nails? Google nailcarehq.com, and the best one to start with is strengthen brittle nails. That one will take you, and then I've got links that link you to other articles, so it's a lovely little rabbit trail. You'll fall down the rabbit hole. Okay. Let me go back over to Facebook. Sorry. I wish Facebook gave me more scrolling room. It gives me like 2 sentences worth. So whenever I do the 3-day hydration treatment, and I can't, well, that's just rude. I can't see the ... Cecile, I can't see the whole question. And if I try and click on it, it says pin comment, delete comment, or block Cecile. And I'm like, no. Heidi, same thing. Facebook, I'm really not happy with the way you're doing this. Is it more important to oil under the tips when you're ... Yes, it's very important to oil under the tips because oil penetrates through the bottom and also the top, which is why the overnight hydration treatment is so amazing, because you slather oil on the underside, you slather oil on the top side, and then you take lotion stick or any type of balm type of lotion. Comes in a pot or a stick or whatever, and you slather your hands with that. So like you would be really, really greasy. Stick those in nitrile gloves and go to sleep. The first couple of times I did that, I had a lot of trouble. Not a lot of trouble, that's not accurate. I had a little bit of trouble sleeping. Like I'd notice them when I rolled over. After a couple of nights of doing that, they don't bother me at all. So if they really, really bother you, then just do it during the day sometime. You know, you can do a couple of treatments. You could do one in the morning while you're doing all your makeup and getting ready, breakfast, all of that. You could wear the gloves for a couple of hours. You could do it at night when you're watching a movie or a couple of television shows. So there's more than one way to get it done. I can't think of some cute sentence. Let's see. Yeah, gosh. Facebook is just not very nice. I can only see probably about 8 words, and then it goes ... That does not help me. From Trenton, New Jersey. I did not mean to pin that. You pin that. Somebody pin. But what I would like to know, if you can help me, is regarding the natural nail lifting from my nail bed. I use Bliss Kiss oil constantly, but that happens to me when my nails get to a certain length by any chance ... I'm going to need you to email me, Marilyn, because I need to ask you a bunch more questions to see if I can figure out why they're lifting. It could be health issues, it could be trauma, it could be a whole bunch of things. So yeah, email me, Anna at MyBlissKiss. So that's Anna, A-N-A, at MyBlissKiss.com. And I will do my best to answer that. If I don't get to answering it as an email, then come back on Thursday and I'll make sure that I answer that. I need to be better about that, of just like printing the emails that are waiting for me. So, sorry, Marilyn. And you know what, it's just driving me nuts that I can't see the whole question. Thanks, Facebook. Appreciate making my life harder. We all have our love-hate relationships with Amazon, Facebook, Instagram. Alright, so here's my question I couldn't see on Facebook. When I do the 3-day hydration treatment, my nails will fully absorb the oil in 5 minutes and be dry at exactly the time I oil them. Be dry every time you oil them. So that means they're absorbing. Try an overnight. Did you do the overnight hydration or just the 3-day? If you did the 3-day, you might definitely benefit from doing it overnight, so that your nails have the ability to soak that all the way through your tips. The other thing is, and I'm kind of trying to figure out, and this is good for anybody, if you get our oil and you put it on and it actually makes your skin feel drier and itchy, then that means that you probably have an allergy to vitamin A. Let us know, and we have a handful of customers that we make a vitamin A free version. So definitely email us. If I didn't answer the question correctly, email me. Somebody says your nails are thirsty. That is entirely possible. So yeah, if you massage it in the morning and they're dry after 5 minutes, that means they're just soaking it in. So, you know, for sure, make sure that you're oiling after every time you use the restroom and wash your hands. And yeah, I could see that if you're applying it 5 minutes later, you reapply a little bit more. 5 minutes later, it'd be like you'd be doing it all day, and that would be annoying as all get out. So yeah, you could email me too if I haven't really given you a good answer. Okay. Somebody says, I'm getting to my 3-day and I'm just getting to the point that my nails aren't absorbing it instantly. Yeah, that can be, especially if it's the first of a 3-day hydration treatment, you're going to use a lot. Usually by the 3rd day, the absorption has gone way down, and that's the time when it's really important then to apply polish. So that's where you want to do the 5 layers of polish. So 2 layers of a base coat, a ridge filling base coat wrapped all the way around the tips to the underside, and then 2 color coats, and then another layer of top coat wrapped all the way the underside. I don't recommend wrapping the color because it's lots of curse words trying to get that polish out. So don't do that. But when it's the base coat and top coat, for some reason, it's very, very easy to get it out. I use a Q-tip brand, Q-tips, cotton swabs. I like those better. They seem to do a much better job than other cheaper cotton swabs that they just don't get in there very well. And when you're doing that, you want to be very, very gentle, and if you feel like you're pushing on the hyponychium, don't push so hard. I just sit there and I kind of rub it, and the base coat and top coat dissolve very, very quickly. I also make sure that cotton swab is like dripping with acetone. So when you're removing your polish, you want to make sure that you're using lots and lots of acetone because it dissolves faster the more you have. And also, if you warm it up by using the clips or nail clips, so if you you take a little piece of cotton dripping with acetone, you put the clip on, it warms up, your body heat warms up the acetone, which makes it work even faster. And so literally when I start with one nail, I get them all clipped to the other side. This nail is ready to swipe, 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 swipe. I swear, life-changing, you guys. Okay, I've got 1 minute and 40 seconds left on Instagram, which probably is very, very close on Facebook also. I'm probably not going to get to all of the questions, so... Oh, maybe I am. Do you know the date of the sale so I can start saving? I don't know the exact date. I know we've got it on a calendar at work. Somebody might be able to type this in before, but I know it's going to be mid-January. So I hope that helps. Oh, Corey's in there. My husband's... He's been listening. Hi, honey. Look at this. He says redness could indicate an allergy. I think your nails are probably just very dry. How much does my husband know about nail care? That's so funny. He never thought that he would learn so much. Okay, 46 seconds left. Okay, so you can find all my articles over at nailcarehq.com. You can find our products over at myblisskiss.com. You can also find, oh gosh, we're pushing like 60 videos over on YouTube. So that is youtube.com /C as in channel, and then Bliss Kiss. So there we go. I hope I got that all. And you can always email us too if you have any questions. And my team is usually like, Anna, come here. So I will see you guys next Thursday. Talk to you soon. Bye. Hey, it's Anna. I've written over 70 nail care articles that you can find at nailcarehq.com. And if you're looking for products that will help you have longer, stronger nails, visit myblisskiss.com. Be sure to push the subscribe button and turn on notifications to get alerted when I publish more videos. This is Anna, signing off and sending you bliss.